What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today on this beautiful day. I hope you all are healthy and well. Today we'll be reacting to how the $30 million Super Scooper plane was built to fight wildfires. Now, we've checked this plane out before. It's amazing. It can go at freshwater lakes. It don't matter if the lake is clean or dirty. It can go in the ocean. Is crazy. I'm assuming if a pool was big enough, it could actually go in a pool. There's no pools that I know of that's that big, but I have seen some online. It's ridiculous. Like, it's crazy. But today I'm really excited to just check this video out and actually learn more about the Super Scooper, this amazing plane that defeats wildfires. There's a lot of countries that could use this, including the US, Australia. Oh my goodness, the wildfires be off the chain in California, be off the chain in Australia. You know how we get with the heat and stuff? And with the forests and everything, it's wicked, man. And these wildfires, man, once they spark, it's really hard. It takes hours to like days, literally days, to put them out. But with the Super Scooper, I sound like one of them advertisement guys, but with the Super Scooper, you should be all right. You'll be fine. Like, it's amazing how much fire it can put out in just one drop. That's what I was really astonished by when I seen it the first time.
These pilots are flying what's called a Super Scooper. At around $30 million, it's one of the most expensive aerial firefighting aircraft ever made.
It's literally a boat with giant wings, and it's built like a tank. It looks like no other plane in the world.
The CL-415 Enhanced Aerial Firefighter can scoop and drop 1,400 gallons of water on wildfires in a matter of minutes. Compare that to this 1970s plane, which could only drop 200 gallons of water at a time.
I didn't know you had those type of planes back in the 70s. I thought this was like some new state-of-the-art type of stuff, in aerospace. Like, wait, what?
$30 million.
Water on wildfires in a matter of minutes.
I wasn't alive, but I mean...
Compare that to this 1970s plane.
The 70s? Interesting.
Which could only drop 200 gallons of water at a...
Was Canada the first to do this in the 70s? Was Canada the first country to create the Super Scooper plane in the 70s? Was it Canada then? Oh, so y'all been ahead of this. Yeah, y'all been ahead of this right here. Y'all are the kings of aerospace, bro. No, like, real talk, bro. Yeah, of course it was Canada. That's exactly what I was assuming. I was like, it's definitely Canada. Because no way you guys think of something like this nowadays, You guys have some of the smartest, most intelligent people in your country. And that's not me being biased towards any other countries. It's just me keeping it real. Like, the education system and just... the minds out there in Canada are different. The universities these people are coming from are just... It's not like what we get out here in the U.S. These are like universities. You can't even step foot into them unless your GPA got to be probably 4.0 and greater. Greater? Like, I know, bro. There's somebody with a 5.0 GPA. 5.0 GPA in this world. That is ridiculously crazy. Like, that's amazing though. Genius.
That to this 1970s plane, which could only drop 200 gallons of water at a time.
$30 million is very expensive for any aircraft. However, it's actually the most cost-effective aerial firefighting asset.
Super Scoopers revolutionized aerial firefighting, and Insider got an up-close look with Bridger Aerospace to see how this aircraft is tailor-made to fight fires. Airplanes have been used to fight wildfires for almost 100 years, but early attempts weren't nearly as effective.
In the 50s and 60s, almost all the aircraft used to fight fires were retired or salvaged World War II aircraft. Tanks were strapped to the middle, and they were used in a very haphazard, provisional manner.
Some of these makeshift firefighting planes were only able to drop 150 to 200 gallons of water at a time.
It's just not really effective in today's world, but at the time it's the best they could do.
Canadair was contracted to design a plane specifically to fight fires.
So they designed the grandfather of this airplane, the CL-215, looked very similar.
Which Viking Air Limited modernized in 2020. retrofitting the CL-215 with a new avionics system,
Nice.
turbine
It's
engine.
very spacious on the inside. It wasn't kidding. It was like it's built like a tank.
Retrofitting the CL-215
Wow. Wow.
with a new avionics system,
That is amazing.
turbine engines, and more.
Oh,
It
they're
was
really-
taken down to its bones and created essentially a new airplane.
Weighing in at 30,000 pounds, the CL-415 EAF is 30 feet tall and has a 93-foot wingspan, just 24 feet shy of a Boeing 737's wingspan.
When you're up close to it, you really appreciate just the massive size of it.
But despite its size, the aircraft was engineered to fly like a much smaller plane.
When you look at them, they don't necessarily look like they'd be an aerobatic or stunt plane. We're taking a plane almost the size of a C-130. We're flying into extremely narrow canyons, very low altitude, banking high G turns at a high rate of turn. Flying an aircraft this big, that low, and that dangerous of an environment is very rare.
That's risky now to think about it, considering, would you say 93 feet, considering how long? Oh, wait. Because, like, you don't want to get too close now, or else the wings will hit the ground. But these guys are trained professionals. But considering how low you have to get, well, the plane always is going to be straight, no matter how low you get, because you got to drop the water. Unless the plane is able to, like, drop water while, like, turning sideways, if they have to do it like that, maybe, in an awkward way. Please, somebody let me know if that's possible. Or do they have to position the plane to be level like this in order to drop that water directly down? That just makes more sense to me. You know, you can't get too close, especially with the wings.
The Scooper is so nimble because of its flight control surfaces, or aerodynamic devices that pilots use to adjust and control the aircraft. On any plane, the main control surfaces are the ailerons, which control the plane's roll, the rudder, which controls yaw or the aircraft's direction, and elevators, which control the aircraft's pitch. And in the case of the Super Scooper, those flight control surfaces are supersized.
That's important because when you're flying slow and big, you need to have a lot of aileron area, a lot of elevator area to be able to move that aircraft as quickly as you need to at those low speeds.
That's why this rudder is 25 square feet larger than that of a Boeing 737-900, even though the Super Scooper is 10 feet shorter and half as long. This is crucial for the Scooper. It needs to slow down to 90 knots, or just over 100 miles per hour, to perform a scoop. That's almost half the aircraft's.
So that scoop will not, like, I was going to say initiate. If you're not at 90 to 100? Like, it's impossible? You have to make sure, or else you just drop that low for no reason? Or is that just, like, the required?
Crucial for the Scooper. It needs to slow down to 90 knots.
It needs. This is crucial. So it needs. So this is a must.
Or just over 100 miles per hour to perform a scoop. That's almost half the aircraft's standard cruising speed.
Once you've identified your scoop site and you're coming in, you go through your pre-pickup checklist. One of those items is probes down.
Probes are down.
The way the aircraft picks up water is it does not stop or suck it up. There's no vacuum. It scoops it, and it scoops it through what you see here. 2 probes on either side of the keel of the aircraft, about the size of your hands put together. And as soon as you hit the water, they catch. You can feel that in the cockpit. You got to be ready for that catch with the yoke.
Right there, get ready to add some power. Now. Oh.
And the water begins filling almost immediately.
It takes the Scooper 12 seconds to fill its tanks with 1,400 gallons of water.
Ooh, 12 seconds. Wow. Will Canada create a plane that can do it quicker? Faster than this? Oh my gosh, that's going to make history.
During which time, the pilot has to maintain the plane's speed and direction.
Once the aircraft is full and the tanks are full, you retract the probes. There is a noticeable surge in the aircraft when those probes go up, get the aircraft back up to speed, and take off.
Now 11,000 pounds heavier, the aircraft relies on its design to ascend from the surface.
If you look at the wing, you can see it has a very large curvature to it. That's called camber, which creates an enormous amount of lift.
But aerodynamics aren't the only factor involved. The plane is outfitted with turboprop engines that generate more than enough power to lift it off the surface.
They make 2,380 shaft horsepower each side.
These engines are extremely durable. You never want to hit anything with them, of course, but if it's ash or debris being pushed up through the thermals of the fire, these engines are going to chew right through that and keep running.
All that enables the scooper to ascend back up to its previous altitude in roughly 3 minutes.
Scooper 282 is inbound, loaded for the drop.
So when we're lining up for a drop, the air attack will get us on target. They're in contact with the folks on the ground who are requesting the water. We're factoring in the terrain, the wind, our altitude for when we need to press the button to make the drop.
When the pilot is ready to drop the load, they'll press the water drop.
I'm so shocked at like how smoothly the plane can continue to go, cruise at that speed, especially once hitting the surface of the water and scooping that up. It doesn't create some type of resistance and hold back the plane. The power is insane. Damn.
Press the button to make the drop.
When the pilot is ready to drop the load, they'll press the water drop button.
And 3, 2, 1, drop.
Opening the drop doors on the keel and releasing 1,400 gallons of water.
Loads away.
It only takes 2 seconds for the aircraft to drop its entire load, a very short window for the pilot to work with.
There is no targeting computer. It's all by feel and by experience.
But the Super Scooper's high-lift wing and turboprop engines allow it to attack forest fires from a lower altitude and speed than other firefighting aircraft. While planes like the 747 Supertanker and DC...
What are you going to do with these big-ass planes? They cannot go through the Rocky Mountains like how the Super Scooper can.
10 make drops from between 200 and 800 feet. The Super Scooper can do so...
Ooh. What? Don't say like 100 feet, bro. That is crazy if it's like 100 feet. That is crazy if it's like 100 feet. That is right there. That's close to your head, boy.
Go from as low as 100
Oh my gosh. I was about to say, it can't be 200 because 200 would be right on the scale. It'd be right here. 100 feet. Like, if you're standing outside, 100 feet is really close if you think about it. That's right over your head. That's right over your head, guys. Wow.
feet above a fire.
When you're fighting fire at low altitude, flying through mountains and smoke and trees, having the ability to quickly adjust to terrain variations, other aircraft in the area, or obstacles that emerge through the smoke is very important.
After performing the drop, the scooper can simply head back to the water source to pick up another load, rather than refilling on the ground.
So from drop to drop, it really depends on how close our water source is. But I've been on fires where we're dropping a load of water every 6 minutes.
The aircraft can go up to 6 hours between refuels, depending on conditions, meaning it can fight fires longer than other aircraft that need to refuel every 2 hours.
Although the sticker price on the aircraft is very expensive, it can deliver 150,000 gallons in one service day compared to a more traditional tanker that can oftentimes only do a small fraction of that. It's actually the most cost-effective aero firefighting asset.
And with a paint job like that, it can be hard to miss.
It's a very flashy paint job on these aircraft, and it's one of the questions we're asked quite often is why is it painted the way it is? The goal is to be visible in this super dense smoke. It's a very action-packed circuit when these guys are fighting the fires, and safety is the ultimate goal.
For aerial firefighters, the next game-changing innovations aren't going to come to the planes themselves.
The next ridgeline for aero firefighting is going to be data. It's going to be understanding what the fire is doing, where it's going, where it came from, and being able to share that data with as wide a population as possible. That can better inform our aerial response, better inform the ground response, and make sure that those citizens affected by the incident are giving the best information possible to protect themselves, their families, and their livelihood.
In the meantime, aerial firefighting aircraft like the Super Scooper are tasked with keeping forest fires in check.
Flying this aircraft in the environment we fly it in, it's very exciting, it's very dangerous, but it's also very fun.
I know it's fun. Oh, I know it's fun. Believe that. This Canada will make so much money. This plane is $30 million. Damn. At that point, I think y'all should just help people. Who, $30 million? I mean, the U.S. got that. The U.S., I believe it was some talks. It was in the talks of actually purchasing some of these planes, right? we got enough to purchase that. I feel like if the country can afford it, it's definitely worth it. At least like two. At least like two. Definitely beneficial. And then I guess Canada could continue to just excel in aerospace and dynamics in the aviation field for real. Because think about it. 12 seconds? You think it's possible to create anything that could, possibly work efficiently, but at a faster rate? I mean, do you seriously think it's possible? I feel like it is. I'm just thinking about like how beneficial it is. I just watched another video the other day of Australia's wildfires, still uncontrollable as always. It's like an oncurring thing that goes on like all the time. It's not just here this time it happened this month or no, like it's really like a lot. It occurs, more than we think. I just feel like it would be so much easier. I'm watching these poor fire trucks and these big like water tanks coming, and it's just still not enough. And I'm literally telling them like if y'all had this plane, I literally said this yesterday. If y'all have this plane and it came through one time, all this fire right here, it was like a fire literally blocking off. It wasn't like a lot, but it was too much for the firefighters to handle. Let's be honest. Even the fire trucks couldn't take it out. But to the plane, like being compared to the plane, I felt like it just was small. Like seeing what this plane can do and just dropping that water. Yeah, it would have definitely helped out, taking out fires quicker. The video was sun up to sundown. I'm like, boy, it's dark. They gonna get a chance to go home? Goodness. Like, they're out there all day trying to fight it, and then shit still don't be put out because like it just keeps on going. It's so much. These people got to keep on coming back with the water trucks. You got to find a water supply. Hopefully you're near somebody's home or something. Like, bring the plane. The plane is going anywhere. This plane is able to go in that lake, is able to go in the ocean and come right back. And with a place like Australia, we got to see how fast the plane could travel though, because say it's out there in like the desert part, like out there in the wilderness, in the outback, and it's uncontrollable or it's far away from a water source, then we really got to see how this plane could perform a long distance now. How fast could it get there, drop the water, get back to that water source, wherever it is, how far it is, and get back. Interesting. I think I might check out a video like that. I don't know if I'll react to it, but I think I'm going to check out a video like that, seeing like, how fast could it actually travel long distance? Like, because that would be the only issue in Australia now I'm thinking about it. Everybody feel free to share your honest thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. Do you feel that Canada should, sell these planes to the world? Even though they already are. I mean, like, it's in the talks, it's in the making. And I feel like especially what we got going on right now with the jet deals, oh my goodness. I feel like the U.S. isn't purchasing anything at the moment. Considering that they're trying to dish off these F-35s, which have a lot of maintenance problems and stuff. I don't know if we're going to be purchasing these planes any sooner, but I feel like it would really benefit Australia. It really would benefit California, But let's just see where it goes in the future. But besides that, Canada is good. You guys have a lot of wildfires as well that occur more often than a lot of people really do expect. I would say it's not shown as much on the news or on the internet. I was going to say that, but it is in Canada. It is in Canada. I don't know how the news feed is in all the other countries, but in the US, we're not seeing what's going on in Canada, unless we see it on YouTube. We have to specifically type it in, unless you react to, Canadian videos and it comes up on your feed. but it's not put on our news channels or anything. So we don't know what's really going on and what you guys go through on a day-to-day basis. Seriously. And this plane is very beneficial. I want to know, is Canada going to create something even better? And that might cost like $60 million. Oh, never mind. That's crazy. Stay safe, everyone. Feel free to check out the Twitch. Well, follow the Twitch. And check out my other channels in the description. I love you all, and I hope to catch you all in the next reaction video.